Hey everyone, I'm Shonagh Scott. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create 2 quick and easy rock pop inspired face paints to celebrate the release of Sing at Vue Cinemas on the 27th of January.
Get ready, cause I'm warning you. This stage is about to explode with major piggy power.
So today I'm working on my nephew Blakely. First off, we're going to do a rock inspired lightning bolt, and I'm using this simple image as my reference. To sketch the rough shape onto the skin, I'm using a Faceliner pencil. If you don't have one of these, then you can just simply use a kohl pencil. Now I'm using a black one so that you can see it on screen, but I would personally use a white one at home if you have it, but if you only have black, don't worry, we're going to be painting over this. So I'm drawing 2 parallel lines, and I'm going to make one line longer than the other. Then those are going to meet at the bottom. Then on the smaller line, I'm going to draw another line coming off of that at an angle, then a short horizontal line along the top, then a vertical line coming down to meet the short horizontal one, and finally one last line that closes both those points. And if you make a mistake, you can simply wipe it off because it is kohl pencil. Then you want to repeat the same on the opposite side of the face. Now I'm going in with some white face paint. I've flattened the bristles into the paint so I can create nice sharp edges. I'm filling in all 4 lightning bolts using this white paint. A little tip would be to use a brush with fine bristles so that you can really get those edges nice and sharp. We all know children aren't the best at staying still, so you want to make it as easy and simple for both you and your child. As you can see with the brush, I'm able to create sharper lines than I was with the Faceliner pencil. So once I've completed all the paintwork, I'll then go in and just remove some of the dark lines just to make it that little bit more sharp. Having white as our base is going to help our other colours really stand out. It should look like this when you've done all 4. Taking this beautiful turquoise paint, I'm going to apply this to the inner half of the bottom lightning bolts and the outer half of the top ones. While it's still damp, I'm going in with a dry brush and I'm going to soften the edges so it blends into the white. If you found your paint's already dried, you can add a tiny amount of white to your fluffy brush and work that into the seams as well, and that's going to help to soften the colour. Don't worry if you're not very good at blending, it will still look really effective. Now as you can see, I'm applying this turquoise colour on the outer corners of the top lightning bolts. And once you've done all 4, it should look something like this. Next I'm taking this royal blue face paint and I'm applying this along the outer edges of the bottom lightning bolts. We're then going to fade this into the white, but again don't worry if your colour dries because you can go in with a small amount of white like I'm doing now, and I'm fading that into the blue. The tip is to use the smallest amount and use a stipple motion to blend it. So I'm repeating the process all the way around that outer edge. Firstly applying the blue, then blending that in with a small amount of white. So we've got that nice gradient between darker blue, white and then the turquoise shade. To really intensify the outer edges, I'm mixing a little bit of that royal blue and black together, and I'm using a stipple motion with the edge of my brush to apply that to the outer corners. If you find you bring the colour down too far, you can go back in with your brush and a little bit of white or turquoise and again stipple over that and make that gradient slightly lighter again. And that's what I really love about working with face paints, is you don't have to completely take the colour off, you can easily adjust your shades. So then you just repeat the same process on your other 2 lightning bolts and that completes the first look.
They're going to be spicy, no?
The next one we're doing is a pop inspired star. Stars are particularly hard to draw freehand, so I've printed one out onto sticky back paper and I'm going to use this as my guide. So I've placed it roughly where I want it and I'm going around the edge using black face paint and an eyeliner brush. You can see now Blakely's getting a little bit more restless, so this one's a little bit easier and quicker than the last one. Once you've painted around the entire edge, you can remove your guide. Now don't worry if you've got any wonky lines, you can use a clean damp angled liner brush and simply swipe along the line to clean them up. To fill the star in, I'm using gold face paint, and this one has a metallic finish which is really eye-catching. So I'm going to use a small brush to fill in the star with the gold face paint, but I'm going to avoid applying it directly to Blakely's eyelid. Although these paints are safer around the eyes, it's just a lot easier than having to rub his eyes to get the paint off. So as you can see, I've left a small circle around his eye. Next I'm going in with this red face paint. I decided to opt for 3 contrasting colours. Using a flat brush, I'm applying that red along the edges of the star, and using a damp fluffy brush, I'm blending that colour out. And you want to blend that colour down by about ½ centimetre. We're going to be going in with a black along the very edge of the star, so we want to be able to still see that red when we fade the black out. So bear that in mind when you're doing your blend in. So you want to continue this method all the way around the star. Next we're going in with a black face paint, and using that same flat brush that we applied the red with, we're going to push this along the very edge of the star. Then going in with a small blending brush, we're going to work this backwards and forwards along the black, very softly blending it out while it's still damp. Notice how I'm not pulling that colour down because we don't want to lose the red. Instead we just want to intensify the edges of the star, and it's a great way for you to be able to go along and just crisp up your lines if you didn't initially get them very sharp when you went around your guide. Once you've completed all those edges, we're then going to go and create freehand small stars on the sides of the face. I'm using a really thin paintbrush, and using the very tip I'm crisscrossing different sized lines, and I'm varying the size of each individual star, so I'm doing some slightly bigger ones, slightly smaller ones, and then some tiny ones. And this is so quick, it will take you no time at all to do the stars on the face. So it's a really quick but effective method. So that completes my 2 quick and easy rock pop face paints in celebration of the new film Sing, which is in cinemas on the 27th of January.